No one in the grand ballroom expected that one unexpected moment would become the beginning of a story about dignity, forgiveness, healing, and second chances. Beneath the sparkling chandeliers, surrounded by laughter, expensive suits, and endless applause, a successful executive lost control for just a few seconds. What happened next could have destroyed careers, reputations, and lives forever. Instead, one quiet decision made by a single father revealed a kind of strength that money could never buy, leaving everyone who witnessed it speechless. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, second chances, and compassion can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, comment below, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Speaks. Your support helps us continue bringing stories that remind the world humanity still exists. For years, the single father had lived a life built on sacrifice. Every sunrise began before the city woke, preparing breakfast, packing school lunches, washing uniforms, and making sure his young daughter started each day believing that even without her mother beside them, she was deeply loved. His wife had passed away after a long illness, leaving him to carry not only his own grief but also the responsibility of protecting a little girl whose entire world depended on him. Every promotion he earned, every overtime shift he accepted, and every sleepless night had one purpose: to give his daughter a future brighter than the pain she had already experienced. He worked for one of the largest companies in the city, led by an ambitious executive who had built her career through relentless determination. To the outside world, she appeared fearless, confident, and perfectly composed. Employees admired her intelligence while quietly fearing her impossible standards. Few realized that behind her polished appearance was someone carrying years of loneliness, emotional exhaustion, and silent regret. Success had surrounded her with admiration but isolated her from genuine friendship and trust. The annual company gala arrived after months of record-breaking profits. Employees celebrated together in an elegant hotel decorated with crystal lights, white flowers, and soft music. Awards were presented, speeches filled the room with applause, and for one evening everyone tried to forget deadlines and pressure. The single father attended only because his department insisted. He wore the same carefully maintained suit he had owned for years, knowing every dollar saved meant another opportunity for his daughter. Throughout the evening he remained humble, congratulating co-workers and quietly preparing to leave early so he could return home before his daughter woke during the night. Meanwhile, the executive accepted congratulations from investors, clients, and board members. Glass after glass of champagne slowly weakened the emotional walls she had spent years building around herself. Hidden memories resurfaced, dreams she had abandoned, relationships that never survived her ambition, and a childhood filled with emotional neglect. Beneath her confident smile, loneliness grew heavier with every passing hour. Late in the evening, after many guests had moved on to the dance floor, she approached the single father. Her judgment was clouded, and for a brief moment she leaned in far closer than she should have. Before the situation could become something far worse, he gently stepped back with calm respect, creating distance without embarrassment or anger. He quietly ensured she remained steady on her feet and discreetly signaled trusted female colleagues to help escort her safely to a private lounge where she could recover with dignity. Many people nearby witnessed only fragments of the moment. Rumors threatened to spread instantly. Smartphones appeared. Whispers filled the ballroom. Careers could have ended before sunrise. Instead of feeding gossip, the single father chose silence. He refused interviews with curious co-workers. He never mocked her. He never exaggerated what happened. He simply returned home to his daughter, helped her finish a school project before bedtime, and continued living the ordinary life that mattered far more to him than office drama. The following morning, the executive woke with only scattered memories and overwhelming anxiety. When trusted staff gently explained what had happened, shame settled over her like a heavy storm. She imagined headlines, lawsuits, humiliation, and the destruction of everything she had spent decades building. Days passed before she gathered enough courage to meet privately with the single father. She expected anger. She expected accusations. She expected demands. Instead, she found compassion. He explained that everyone could have one terrible moment without being defined by it forever. What mattered most was accepting responsibility, making things right, and ensuring it never happened again. His calm honesty humbled her more deeply than any criticism ever could. She immediately apologized sincerely and accepted full responsibility for her actions. She introduced healthier workplace policies around professional conduct, employee well-being, and responsible company events. Alcohol limits were implemented, transportation was provided for all staff after celebrations, and confidential counseling became available for every employee, including executives. For the first time in years, employees saw not only a powerful leader but also a human being willing to admit mistakes. Months later, unexpected challenges struck again. The single father's daughter developed a medical condition requiring expensive treatment. Insurance covered only part of the costs. Once again he worked overtime, skipped meals, and quietly sold treasured belongings to keep every appointment. When the executive learned about the situation, she remembered the mercy she had received when her own reputation had rested entirely in his hands. This time she chose action instead of words. Without seeking publicity, she created a company emergency assistance program so employees facing family crises could receive financial support without shame. She carefully ensured the single father qualified through the same transparent process as everyone else. He accepted the assistance not as charity but as evidence that compassion inside an organization could change lives. His daughter slowly regained her health. Her laughter returned to their small apartment. School drawings once again filled the refrigerator door. Ordinary evenings cooking dinner together became priceless victories. The company itself began changing. Managers received emotional intelligence training. Employees felt safer reporting concerns. Families were welcomed during community events. Productivity rose not because people feared leadership, but because they trusted it. Years later, the story remained largely unknown outside those directly involved. People remembered the executive not for one painful mistake but for the humility she demonstrated afterward. People remembered the single father not because he became famous, but because he proved true strength is measured by self-control, integrity, and compassion when nobody is watching. His daughter eventually graduated with honors. During her speech she spoke about the quiet courage of a parent who taught her that forgiveness never excuses wrongdoing but allows healing to begin after accountability. She thanked the people who believe that every human being deserves the opportunity to become better than their worst day. Many in the audience quietly wiped away tears. Life had never become perfect. Grief never disappeared completely. Regret never vanished overnight. But kindness had interrupted what could have become another story of humiliation and revenge. Instead, it became a story of responsibility, redemption, and hope. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness can be stronger than anger, please like this video, share it with your family and friends, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Kindness Speaks. Your support helps these stories reach people who may need hope today. Special request: before you leave, please comment with one sentence answering this question: do you believe one act of compassion can change someone's entire life? Your words may encourage someone reading the comments who desperately needs hope today. Thank you for spending your time with us. May this story remind you that character is revealed not during moments of comfort, but during moments when we have every opportunity to hurt someone and instead choose kindness. Sometimes the quietest act of grace creates the loudest echo, changing lives for generations to come.